Welcome to Home of Politics, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all of you for your support, continuous tuning in, subscriptions, sharing, comments, liking. I appreciate you so much, and know that we are all in this, and be sure you will remain updated every time. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, Senator Gloria Orwoba has been suspended for 6 months by the Senate, and she is not permitted to appear before the Senate or to appear in any of the parliament sittings for 6 months, and it has been effected. For instance, she is expected to turn on into the session, or the procedure will be talked about again in the next year, and that one is a very long period. Some of the allegations that is being claimed and the mistake that she committed, I can just remind you very fast. She gave unsubstantiated reports on corruption. She declined to appear before the Senate when she was called upon. She also made an allegation of instances of pursuit of sexual favors in Senate and in Parliament premises, whereby she used this message and posted it on the WhatsApp business group of the Senate, where every legislature could access it. She also said that allegations on favoritism and discrimination were being exposed on grounds of other favors which is undergoing in the Senate, and so many senators are into this. Ladies and gentlemen, basing on the reasons that have made this senator to be suspended, then it means that the senators are not happy. This is because when you listened carefully to the Senate proceedings, when these senators were giving their opinions on whether to suspend this senator or not, most of them voted yes. They agreed to suspend Senator Gloria, and measuring on these reasons, these senators were not happy at all. This is because they take it as something that it has been treated with the seriousness, and at the same time, on the side of Senator Gloria Orwoba, she is arrogant in one way or another, and she is not somebody who can listen, and at the same time, she seems not to be humble to apologize to the one whom they offended or the one whom they had a problem with. My good people, it has been realized from a very, very close information that this issue of suspending Senator Gloria is highly hand in hand with disrespect and insensitivity in this leader.
A minority leader came in. We saw what happened, because this motion, the content of discussion here has been an issue of a WhatsApp, an official WhatsApp communication. But what did we see as senators? The conversation continued from the same senator. And that is a sign that they was not ready to even go for mediation and even listen. Honorable Speaker, alternative dispute resolution is a mechanism enshrined in the Constitution of Kenya. But Honorable Speaker, if somebody is not ready to listen, if they are not ready to listen to leadership, to listen to anybody here, to listen to colleagues, what then do we do? But wise people say, Honorable Speaker, and that when you are in a hole, you should also stop digging. And Honorable Speaker, let me remind ourselves that as senators, I believe all of us signed the code of conduct, even with our parties are nominating parties. But this House is here to protect the Constitution. And the Constitution is very clear about leadership. leadership and integrity, that talks about personal integrity, that talks about respect for others, that talks about a leader conducting themselves to bring dignity to the office that you hold. Honorable Speaker, is what the senator doing bringing any dignity to her office as a nominated senator or as to the Senate as a house? Honorable Speaker, the same constitution talks about the rights. And the rights are not limited to women. The rights are limited to the rights of women and men. And it talks about to equal rights to equal protection. Honorable Speaker, let us not delude ourselves that if you have had an opportunity to be a member of this House, thousands of Kenyans are out there that should have been here, and you want to behave as if you are above rules and laws. Honorable Speaker, leadership requires that you behave with decorum, that you respect each other, that you maintain some discipline, that you maintain some personal integrity. Honorable Speaker, I'm not saying that our sisters should be axed out of this Senate, but I'm saying that as senators, some of us came to the Senate by choice because we believed it is a house of order, a house of sobriety, a house of discipline, but not what we are seeing. Honorable Speaker, I support that motion, and as I support it, I want to say that Parliament should not be used as a house to seek attention. And if you are seeking attention, Honorable Speaker, I think you should.
According to what you've just heard, that is Senator Akinyi Beatrice, and she is among the female leaders who have stood very firm in the Senate to vote yes for this senator to be dismissed or to be suspended to go home. This is because, according to this senator, she feels that apart from the allegations that Senator Gloria brought on the Senate about the sexual harassment on her, it is also clear that the rights that a female senator deserves, it is the equal rights that a male senator deserves. Apart from that, it is claimed that she has been harassing every other senator, not only the one who had the problem with her. She has been very rude and arrogant, and she has been taking it with something that it is becoming a habit, and she has been causing incitement, leading to lack of peace in the house. It has been realized that the leaders of the government lack key leadership qualities, which is bringing chaos. And some of the leadership qualities that these leaders are lacking is that one, like humility and respect. Having the two qualities can somehow bring a solution, or can help to settle a problem whenever people are in disagreement. And if, for instance, there is a mistake somewhere, then if you have humility in you, you can humble down, at least apologize, and seek another way to resolve your problem, rather than spilling the beans everywhere on social media and everywhere, because you have no good relationship with your fellow leader. For instance, some leaders or some senators are demanding that Senator Gloria Orwoba should at least apologize and seek for another way, and that might help her, since the Senate can lead to her forgiveness and allow her back in the office. Some of them are just against it because they see that Senator Gloria is very okay and perfect according to what she has done. Ladies and gentlemen, in the response of the decision of the Senate and the disciplinary that has just been imposed, Senator Gloria is still giving a response to this procedure of suspension, and she is posting it on a social media, addressing some of the senators, mentioning their names, of which she still insists that there is ideas of corruption, sexual favors, discrimination, and other things that is happening in the Senate.
In fact, my latest one being a letter that I wrote saying that the Senate has to release a travel report, because it is obvious when the travel report comes out, it is not my word against the clerk. You will see very well what I'm talking about. You will see how the clerk is actually using his office to, let's say, real certain people in terms of compensating you with trips. There are people who are forever on flights, who are forever getting per diems from the exchequer, and it is in this travel report. People are earning out of it, and the people who actually need to travel because they have to work and execute their duties as senators are the ones who are now being who are actually suffering the consequences. But what I don't understand is Senate is aware that I am not there, but yet they brought the motion today. Why? Because they knew that I would not get my 15 minutes to discuss this, and that is what is upsetting. So I still remain firm, and I remain that there are sexual favors, and the senators know this. They know that the senators who are actually, they are being paid, so to speak, because they are trading sexual favors for legislative agenda, for trips, for so many things. And I don't care about that. That's fine. They can do that. But we shouldn't be punished. Those of us who actually came to Senate to work, I'm a legislator and I came there to work. I should not be punished because I'm highlighting an illegality that is happening. If the clerk of the Senate knows that he's innocent, why is he engineering all the systems behind it to ensure that that a wrong story is being told? Why couldn't Senate wait until I'm back? Then they can put it on the order paper when I'm back, and then we discuss it. Why did they take it out of Parliament when I was in Parliament? Because when I was in...
According to what you've just heard from Senator Gloria, she responded yesterday to the step that the Senate took to suspend her, and she still insists that she has filed a statement in the police, something is under investigation, and she's not caring if others are being involved in those discriminations and favoritism. But for her, she's very specific. She needs her rights. Now, having the reaction from both sides, we see the allegations that the senators and the Senate at large just outlined, and the response that Senator Gloria is bringing in. Then we see that there is a very, very big difference on how information has been tabled out here. According to senators or the Senate, they are charging Senator Gloria with all these allegations basing on the standing orders and laws that guides the Senate. And according to this Senator Gloria, she's also standing that she needs her rights, and she's also using the standing orders and the laws to protect her rights, and she's speaking the fact according to her. That is how she's saying. Ladies and gentlemen, but if you can look keenly on the side of Senator Gloria, she is saying that these senators who have just voted yes to suspend her from the office, they have been paid to do so because they are among those senators who benefit from the favors and other issues that she is against in the Senate. We don't know if this is the fact, but there is no way everybody or a big number in the Senate can be bought or can be paid just to fight one person. According to how we have observed, the first thing, the decision of suspension of Senator Gloria did not base in any of the gender discrimination, because we see in the voting procedure of these senators saying yes or no, we had so many female senators who voted yes for the suspension to be imposed on Senator Gloria. And this does not mean that only men voted yes to suspend Senator Gloria. It is also very notable that even if she can feel that she has been discriminated, or the senators that have been voting yes for her suspension have been paid, then it is very questionable, because how did they manage to pay a majority of the senators in the Senate only to chase out a person from the office, yet knowing very well there is a lot of work in the office that this senator should do to serve the people whom she was nominated to do her work. In another way, we also see that this this leader who has come in commotion with Senator Gloria, he is also a human being. Despite him being a male senator, he also deserves his right, and he should not be subjected to discrimination of favoring Senator Gloria only because she's a female. Here, it is on a fair ground that people voted genuinely according to how they felt the step and the discipline that should be applied to Senator Gloria. It is also observed that there is no discrimination on terms of political parties. We see Senator Gloria comes from UDA party, that is Kenya Kwanza, the government. But the voting of yes or no to bring in the suspension of Senator Gloria was done by senators from both parties. It did not mean that because Senator Gloria is from UDA, people who voted yes are from the opposition. No. There was a mixture of senators who voted yes to suspend Senator Gloria because of her misconduct. For instance, we see so many senators from Kenya Kwanza government. They supported that issue because they felt like she has done and gone against the standing orders and the law of the Senate or the House. And measuring on the issues of discrimination or biasness in terms of political parties, in terms of gender, then that one should be eliminated. Ladies and gentlemen, it is evident that as much as Senator Gloria is fighting so much for what she feels she deserves it, or as much as she's fighting so much with a lot of people in the Senate only to champion what she feels is right for her, she is fighting a losing battle because according to how these senators have aired out their ideas, have made their decisions, and how they are guided by the standing orders and by the laws of the House, this senator is going to face it rough. And it could be better for her if she could at least consider the war that she's fighting, because there is no discrimination that is being based on political party, gender, race, or what. This is something that both leaders in the House have cooperated and tabled out their minds on how they should suspend these leaders. And it means it is not one senator alone, and it is not the decision of the speaker alone. It is a collaborative decision that it has been brought on table. Ladies and gentlemen, we see the qualities that I have just mentioned of a good leadership. Respect and humility is something that is very key in leadership. For instance, even if these leaders disagree in one point or another, people usually apologizes and they are being given another opportunity to correct their mistake, solve their problem in another way. Like an alternative settling of a problem will always be there, not only to take things to an extent that cannot be solved. And it will be good for this senator, even if she feels she is hurted or she has been denied what belongs to her. It is good that she could consider at least to not to bring in hot air so much in the Senate and bring in chaos with other senators, but at least to look for one way or another to humble herself and solve the problem with the leader whom she was in a bad conflict with that leader. Ladies and gentlemen, knowing very much the implication of the suspension, it will be very, very difficult for this leader to survive it, because if she has been suspended for 6 months, that means there's a possibility of the Parliament and the Senate having the session, more than 8 sessions. It is very clear because we see in only 2 months, several sessions can be done, either in Senate and in Parliament. And it is counted 8 sessions if you become absent in the Senate session and whether you are also absent in the parliament, then it means the consecutive 8 times you have gone against the law, and the speaker can write to the IEBC to nullify you and declare your seat empty because you have not been there for the required time, and your seat will be declared empty and another leader will be brought in, just as simple as that. And knowing very well the implication of this thing that have just happened, it is very, very possible for this senator to lose her position as a senator, considering that she was not elected on the polls. She was the leader who was just nominated by a party, and if she could have been elected by the votes of the people in the polls, then we see it could be another case, because maybe she could have the voices of the people from the local where she comes from. But now that she was just nominated and she is in this problem, it will not be easy for her. She will not be accessing the allowances and other privileges that these other senators will be enjoying. Ladies and gentlemen, according to how you've just heard the response that Senator Gloria has given back to the Senate on the decision of suspending her, what advice can you give this leader? Because it is not something happens, that is when you will know the intensity of the punishment. But right now, she seems to be very okay and very comfortable, and she is sure that she will fight this battle until she wins it. And this is going to be very tough for her. Just according to how this information is being circulated everywhere, it seems that there is a problem somewhere, and this legislature should look for a way at least to handle this problem. That will happen only if this senator in question will be willing to apologize maybe and address this matter with the advice that the Senate had given her, because some of the senators were saying that she should apologize and seek for another way to solve the problem. Some of them are supporting her that she's on the right track. What do you think about this issue of suspending Senator Gloria? Send me your ideas in the comment section. Thank you for watching this video.